Hello, my name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast. And do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
This is now the new segment. It's called Debate at 8. I've got a lovely guest joining me right now on the phone. Let me just get them on air. Her name is Gemini. How are you doing, Gemini? Are you keeping well?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. Hi, Amit. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this little debate we're about to have. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gemini by profession is a personal stylist. And she kind of volunteered to have this debate. And this one was one of her suggestions. And I really liked it. And I thought it was something that actually has been on my mind. So the debate is, does showing too much skin invite trouble? So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break this down into two segments. First segment, though, I'm going to ask you to give me your kind of 1-minute summary of why you think it's shouldn't invite trouble or doesn't invite trouble, for want of a better phrase, or whatever it is that is your position on this argument. I'm ready to hear it. So fire away.
Yeah, so I think that it doesn't invite trouble because I think it's the man or the men that should be educated because, just because a woman is showing skin doesn't mean that she's giving a signal for anything, really. And as a mum of 2 girls, I'm not saying that they should, walk around in miniskirts, but yeah, they should be allowed to wear whatever they want. They shouldn't feel like they're in danger. The reason they feel that they would feel they're in danger is because the men think that that's the signal. So I think that's my opinion.
All right, cool. So I really totally respect your position, especially as a mum. Here's my take on this. My side of this came from a very interesting video, and I do see this as well, and I do think to myself that I think that it's just going further and further. So let me give you my position on this. It arose from a video I saw from a well-known TikTok creator talking about this, that they were at the gym, and there was literally, he was seeing individuals where it literally left nothing to the imagination.
Uh-huh.
And I think that sort of invite trouble is probably a strong word, but let me put it another way. And I'm going to just kind of do a virtual scenario right now. You've got a heterosexual couple, man and woman, they're in love, they're married, whatever. When they want to kind of initiate intimate relations, for example, one thing that the woman might do is get, say, for example, an outfit from Victoria's Secret. That outfit involves being scantily clad because ultimately she knows that visually that men are aroused by the appearance, the physical, a woman's kind of, appearance, etc. And so those things are important. So if people are going around constantly doing that, saying that it's the men's job to control themselves, to me is a little bit reductive, because I think it doesn't really fully understand the full scope of what it is, being a man and needing that visual stimulation that is such a fundamental part of a relationship. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I absolutely respect and understand your point of view, and I don't, I'm not endorsing, as a stylist and as a mum, I'm not endorsing people, walking around in bikinis in Sainsbury's at all. But
that would just be hilarious. People in Sainsbury's in bikinis.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I've seen worse at my local Sainsbury's.
Can you imagine at the local cash and carry walking around in a bikini and picking your marchu and, your two or three at the same time. I don't think so.
I love it. Okay, cool. Respond to what I said then. What's your according to what I've said, to my specific point, what do you think?
So I think it's dressing appropriately for your surroundings, right? So if you're on holiday and you want to wear a bikini, or, you know, whatever age, shape or size you are, I'm very passionate about supporting women to look and feel confident, whatever their shape or size. But I think it's about being appropriate for the environment that you're in. So if the ladies are wearing very skimpy outfits in the gym, I think, I mean, also I think there's a responsibility for the gym to have, you know, some rules in place to say, look, you know, dress appropriately, and kind of specify what they mean by that, not show, you know, too much skin or whatever it is. Like, you can't wear hot pants or very small tops, but, you know, wear leggings, for example, or shorts that cover certain parts, or etc.
See, I know this is difficult because you kind of floated towards my side of the debate, which is what I'm saying here, actually.
Yeah, no,
because I think dressing appropriately is important. It is important, I think, as well. And I don't take away from the empowerment angle either, but I think that you get to a point where it just goes too far. And this is the kind of the point I'm making, right? To a certain degree, like, you know, anyone should be entitled to wear whatever they want. I think I 100% agree with that. Yeah. However, I think just from a societal perspective, we know there are certain ways to do certain things, right? And I know, I'll give you like another side to this that I completely understand is really important. So on Diary of a CEO podcast recently had a few people, one of which particularly was Alex Hormozy. There was another lady there, and I don't know her name, right? They were just debating some of the aspects of business and starting a business. One thing she said stood out to me, though, was that women who wear makeup are more likely to get the deal or the job. And I thought that's quite an important thing, right? So it is important to acknowledge that actually making an effort wherever we go, dressing appropriately, is an important thing. But like, say, for example, if a woman I'm at the office and I'm working and a woman is showing me way too much of her cleavage, I think she's taking things way too far. And I think we shouldn't do that because, again, as a guy, would I be wearing something that's showing off? Like, would I, for example, if I had the muscles, would I wear a muscle top? Do you know what I mean, right? Because again, it just incites thoughts in all of us, in women too as well, because there are many women out there who are visual as well. So what we're going to do, Gemini, we're going to just pause for a second. We're going to go for a quick break. I'm going to come back to this as well and dive into it a bit deeper, because like I said, I truly respect your opinion, because especially being a mum, I'm sure you've had to have very important discussions with your daughters as well. So I've got a question for you, Gemini.
Go on.
Okay, right. So I don't want the exact numbers, but I would love to just quickly ask approximate age of your daughters.
So they are tweens, so just before teenage.
All right, cool. Let's say, just throwing this out there, let's say one of your daughters reaches the age of 16. She wants to celebrate 16th birthday, and she's dressing up very scantily clad. With a skirt that just about goes just below her crotch, showing a lot of bosom, etc. Would you be happy with her going out dressed like that?
No. And look, I just think that it's a very personal thing in terms of the way you want to dress. If some people feel like what your clothes can speak, I believe your clothes speak volumes about who you are, and it's an expression, it's self-expression. And you mentioned before about ladies showing their cleavage, right? So some people feel powerful by showing it, and that may work for them. I personally don't do that. I don't feel like that's appropriate all the time. And of course, and for my daughters, I'm not saying they always dress modestly, because it's not, it's something I think everyone explores. I had myself, like when I was a teenager, I wore, hot pants and mini skirts and all that kind of stuff. And
I wish I could say the same thing, but I didn't, of course. That wasn't my fashion taste.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yes, that's conjured very dodgy images in your head, I know.
Yeah, no, any man in hot pants is just a little bit worrying. But, so you've lost my trail of thought now.
Bless you.
But, so look, I think it's all a journey of self-discovery. And yes, look, there's a lot of my clients come to me and they say, Gemini, I've lost my way. I'm stuck in a rut with my style. They're stuck in their they wore some kind of clothes in their 20s. Now they're in their 40s or 50s, still with the same style of clothes and a bit bored of it. So they want to upgrade their level of dressing. And sometimes they want to be more modest. Sometimes they want to be more adventurous with their clothing. So I wouldn't say just because you're over a certain age, you shouldn't be able to wear a mini skirt, for example, or, I think there's a lot of ageism out there as well. And people think that, you shouldn't wear certain clothes just because you're a certain age or you have a certain body type. I think, you should be able to wear what you want, but within I do think it is within moderation in terms of where you are. If you're at a family function, you don't necessarily, again, want to be walking in a bikini. So
and I think this is kind of what I'm trying to say is I think that, we get to a point where, I remember very funny quick story. So we were in India, we were in a religious place and I wanted to wear shorts because it was really hot. And my wife was like, no, you have to wear trousers, right? And these weren't revealing shorts or anything, right? But it was just that principle. And I think that when I'm out and about, I think, the thing is, if I did wear shorts to the temple, I think that's okay. I think there's no problem with that at all. I think if I wear shorts in the temple, I'm going in there with a good conscience and going out with a good conscience, arriving and leaving with a good conscience. Even if they said to me, that goes against our guidelines, I would still be okay with it. And I think that, I guess for me, and if I was a parent, I would ask my children to always think, would you wear that at the temple? Because I think that if you wouldn't, then don't wear it, because the world is a temple, in my opinion. And I think that we have a responsibility to dress accordingly, regardless of where we are, whether it's the gym, whether it's out and about, whether it's a night out. Of course, if it's hot, we're going to wear less clothes. That's a given. But not to the point where you are showing what truly gives people sexual arousal, men and women. I don't think you should. I think I'm going to stand that line firm, and I think it needs to be really important. Skin tight bosom tops, bottoms that are showing practically everything, especially the shape. We've got funny words for it. We all know we have. With show the shape of it. I mean, come on, that's just, you're inviting people to think along those lines.
No, where I disagree is I agree to the point where I think, you don't need, you can look really sexy or sophisticated by being very covered up as well. You don't necessarily need to show a lot of skin to look sexy or sophisticated or whatever you're trying to go for. But at the same time, I don't think that, I think that the word inviting people for, or inviting trouble, I just think that's really wrong, because it isn't, I see it as expression, right? A woman wants to express herself in different ways, and I'm not saying that, everyone should just go out and wear the shortest skirt or the shortest whatever, but or a very low cut top or anything like that. But at the same time, it is not inviting men to say, hey, you can grope me or do whatever. That's something where we need to educate our boys and the next generation and the men to say, well, women are humans. They are, they may or may not address, we can't control everyone as well, right? We're not a society where, we're a cosmopolitan society where anyone can express themselves how they want. So if they're wearing whatever, people are going to be wearing things. The men should be educated enough to know that to respect women regardless of what they're wearing. Like, just because they're wearing something that you may see as inappropriate, I may see it as inappropriate. I mean, for God's sake, it's my job to judge people's outfits.
Yeah, of course.
So.
Right. So what we're going to do, we'll round it off because we're running out very short on time. But I will just say this as well, and this is the thing. This is the really difficult thing. This is the aspect of it that just requires so much consideration, because we say we're inviting that, what you described as well, but we're also activating male sexual drive. And that needs to be addressed too. We cannot just say to men, switch it off. Hormones don't work like that. And we can't just say to men, switch it off. You're suppressing them. You're suppressing their emotions. You're suppressing everything about them that makes them a man. I'm not saying it's okay for them to go and grope a woman. I'm saying their mind will naturally wander to that. Just in the same way, if you love handbags and you walk past a handbag store and you go, "Oh, those are nice handbags," and I say to you, switch that off. Could you switch it off? Probably not. So listen, Germany, I've got to say, we're going to have to cut it there, unfortunately. But this has been brilliant. I think it's good to activate these conversations and talk about them, to really discuss and figure out where we stand with these issues in society. So I really appreciate that you coming on board and doing that.
And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Amit.
You're a superstar. Thank you.
Catch our love guru, Amit Sodha, between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. every Sunday for that chill out zone.